Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stu Fuchs.
So, just get ourselves set up here. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? No? Oh, okay, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a tremendous pleasure to be here tonight, and I'm really so happy to be back. Thank you for inviting me back. I'm going to play some music on the ukulele. You heard me play a little bit of guitar. I'm a classical and gypsy jazz and rock guitarist who got seduced into the world of ukulele. I'll tell the story later. But for now, I'd like just to play a sunset song from Hawaii. This is a piece called Kanuhea. Thank you. Can you all say le, ukulele. It's okay if you say ukulele. Every once in a while on one of my YouTube videos, someone corrects me with a kind of a snickerty tone, but ukulele, tomato. Think about ukuleles. Does anybody have one at home? Anybody play? I see a few hands rising. You got to be careful with the ukuleles. When you're not looking, they multiply. And that's what this song is all about. Is it picking up my voice enough? Loud enough, I think? Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is a tune I wrote called My Little Jumping Flea. That's what ukulele means. It's one of the two translations. The Queen Lele Okolani, weeks after the instrument arrived in Honolulu Harbor, she named it ukulele, the gift from afar, but it also means jumping fleas. They thought the fingers were like jumping fleas going up and down the neck. I'll tell a bit more of that story later. But for now, just know, careful, don't leave your ukuleles unattended because they will multiply and you might get a case of UAS, which is ukulele acquisition syndrome. Early morning, eyes open wide, my beloved's waiting by my side. 4 shimmering sunbeams calling me. You got a lovely shape, I hold her close. Every day a therapeutic dose. Transported to the beach at Waikiki. Well, she thinks that she's the only one, but there's 4-string cloning going on. All my ukes are the only ones for me. So I touch her strings, make them sing every day, and all the feather added to my wings. I call them my little jumping flea. There's a cute baritone blowing up my phone. Custom-made tenors, leave me alone. 4 shimmering sunbeams calling me. I got a great rapport with my music store. They see me coming, they open the door. You luthiers, you fill my heart with glee. This one got a tone, make me wanna sing. I even consulted the I Ching. Excuse me while I strum an open C. That's a D. Anyway, I love them all, just can't decide to keep my 4-string sweetie sitting by my side. I call her my little jumping flea. I call her my little jumping flea. I call her my little jumping flea. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, everyone, well, not everyone, but many people think that the ukulele is a Hawaiian instrument, yes? Yes. But did you know, more folk music trivia for you. Did you know the country of origin of the ukulele? Do you mean you showed up at a ukulele concert and you don't even know what country it comes from? It is actually from the Madeira Islands. It's a Portuguese instrument. Portuguese sailors were on their way to Hawaii. They even know the date that it arrived on the log, the captain's log of the Ravenscrag, January 23rd, 1879. Over 400 migrant workers landed in Honolulu Harbor to work the sugar plantations. There was a great famine across the Hawaiian Islands, and many immigrants had come to start a new life there. On board the boat were 3 fantastic woodworkers. They were cabinet makers and also master instrument builders. They brought their little cavaquinhos with them. It's the instrument played in Brazilian choro music and samba. And as soon as they got off the boat, they started to sing songs of thanksgiving. They had just made a 4-month arduous journey. This was before the Panama Canal. It was 1879. It was really taking your own life in your hands, making this journey. And when they got off the boat, they were so grateful. They started to play very happy songs, and all the locals gathered around, and they must have said something like ukulele, because all the jumping fingers. Well, I'd already told you what the Queen named it, The Gift from Afar. She also wrote many beautiful compositions, over 300 compositions. She and her husband, King David Kemaha, I believe that's how you pronounce it. They were known as the Merry Monarchs, and their palace was full of hula dancing. And she started to write the first music for ukulele. I'd like to play one of those pieces for you. You may know it. Thank you very much. Are you sure you can hear my voice? Is that okay? Okay, cool. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you, wow, what a great turnout. Thank you for supporting local music and the anonymous Coffeehouse. The crowds are getting so big here, Adam. I'm really glad that you're expanding next door. It's really going to be looking forward to that stage. Not assuming, of course, but I was having a grand old time in Buffalo, New York. Don't all applaud at once, my goodness. It's a great place to live, and I lived there for 20 years, and I was a, not starving, but next to starving artist there for a while, and then had some wonderful times playing in a popular gypsy jazz band. Very, very grateful for all the experiences we got to have, playing with symphony orchestras. We even were featured on NPR once, toured across the country, blah, blah, blah. It was a great, great experience. But before all that happened, I was a substitute music teacher riding the Elmwood Avenue line, the bus, number 20 bus down Elmwood Avenue in the middle of February. You know, you think New England winters are hard? At least there's sunshine here. When I first moved to New Hampshire, I now live in Vermont, but when I first moved to Nelson, New Hampshire, I looked up the amount of sunny days per year. Yes, I'm moving here because it's gray. Anyone who's been in Western New York knows it's a wonderful place, beautiful people, great culture, great. Yeah, very, very cloudy. Very, very cloudy there. And great wings, too. So anyway, I was riding down, and it was just one of those days where my kids in the substitute classes were just really rough. I stepped in a puddle of slush while waiting for the bus. Another car went by and splashed me. It was a really rough day. And I finally got to my stop, and before walking a couple of blocks home, I decided to stop by my good friend Brian's music store, and there in the window was one of these. It was a very small one. It was a soprano, a very, very teeny one, and it just stopped me in my tracks. And like the snowflakes, it was like a movie. The snowflakes were collecting on my cheek and my shoulder and my hat, and finally Brian knocked on the window, and he's like, "What are you doing? Come on in." Just watching the ukulele made me feel warm, and it almost felt like my feet were drying out from the slush. And I bought it, and I brought it home, and I started to play it on the bus, and I would just... Funny things were starting to happen on the bus. I would play one chord, and everyone would go from the seasonal affect disorder to... And I started to play these little songs just for my own enjoyment. Weird things started to happen. Total strangers started to talk to each other on the bus. And then we got to this part, and somebody said, "'Cause every little thing is gonna be all right." It's like, wow. So all music has this power to unite us, all the arts. Literature, dance, theater, all has the potential to unite us, but there's something about music, how it's invisible, goes into your ears and just tickles the heartstrings and can awaken memories of your grandmother's home, or the day you were bar mitzvahed, whatever the memory, and I started to see that this instrument had a great power. I'd like to play one more Hawaiian piece and use this as an opportunity to create a time machine. As you listen, I'd like you to imagine that this piece, also a very old Hawaiian song from the late 1800s, it's called Hone Akawai, which means to be sweetened by the water, by one of the first composers on the ukulele, serious composers, named Ernst Ka'ai. As you listen to this, I'd like you to imagine that you are in a time where it took weeks to get somewhere. Maybe if you were lucky, instead of walking, you would get a ride in somebody's wagon. Maybe one of those rich folks walks by one of those newfangled Model Ts, or drives by in a Model T, but things are slower, quieter. So as we listen, I hope that I'm able to deliver it to you with all the heart that I feel in it, and that it helps to transport us to a time when things are slower, quieter, simpler. We can have it even right here and now. Thank you. I know you might be thinking to yourself, I could do that. You can. I have a YouTube channel called Ukulele Zen. You can find videos there from all levels. I also offer retreats and classes. And find me on Ukulele Zen and try a ukulele, but don't leave them alone, like I said. Adam, do we have time for a few more? Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. I'd like to do something a little different. And I'm going to put on, by the way, did you notice how this one has a different sound? This is the low G, this is the high G, and it's a little baffling if you're used to guitar. Why is the high string on the bottom? That's got to be wrong. But it lets you do those string crossings in that last piece. It's called campanella. It lets the notes overlap. So this is a, I'd like to invite you into a song of gratitude. Right now, I'm beaming this. We can all beam this out to the world. I'm going to beam it home to my hopefully sleeping 5-year-old son. Little Rowan, if he could stay up late enough, he would be here next to me singing Johnny Cash songs and playing the Bo Diddley beat or his little violin. He's very musically gifted, and I hope you get to meet him someday. He's really, really sweet. You can find on my YouTube channel, Ukulele Zen, like meditation. You can find a clip of him singing a couple of Johnny Cash songs on a gig last summer in front of about 400 people. He sang, "I've been everywhere, man." All the cities. Anyway, he's fresh brain, fresher than mine. But enough family stories. What I'd like to share is this song of gratitude that we like to come back to. I think it's a deep prayer, cleverly disguised as a children's song. It's called Thanks a Lot. In your part, I know you're wondering, what do I get to sing? You get to echo, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. That's it. So before we do that, I'd like to play a non-string instrument. This is a didgeridoo. And I know I've talked a lot, but I know there's going to be a lot of questions, so I'll just say very briefly, the didgeridoo, one of the world's oldest instruments. The Aborigines in northern Australia have been playing these for tens of thousands of years. Traditionally, a didgeridoo is a hollowed out tree limb. Termites are often stuck into the end of it, plugged up with mud, put close to a fire, and the termites chew their way through. And they hollow it out further with hot iron rods. This is a travel didge. My other didgeridoos are so heavy I would not be able to lift them. You play it sitting down. The didgeridoo has a meditative power. It's a deep vibration. You're going to hear a continuous sound, and I want to invite you to, although you can listen with your eyes open, I want to invite you to close your eyes and bathe in the healing vibrations of this overtone-rich instrument. And you may be wondering, how is that sound going on for so long? It's because I'll be circular breathing. So the circular breath has been studied by many different scientific organizations, and it's been clinically proven. Actually, in 2 really good peer-reviewed studies, it helps to correct and in some cases reverse sleep apnea because the circular breathing strengthens the rear of the soft palate of the mouth. So you can try a didgeridoo and see how it goes. But it's a wonderful meditation. That's all I want to say about it. We'll get out of the mind, into the listening. I hope you enjoy the peaceful vibrations of the didge.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for the sun in the sky. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the clouds so high. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the whispering winds. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the birds in the spring. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the moonlit nights. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the stars so bright. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the wonder in me. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the way we feel. And thanks for the animals. Thanks for the land. Thanks for the people gathered here. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all we've got. 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 Thanks for all we've got.
Stu Fuchs.